When you think of hydraulic system maintenance, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Most likely it's replacing filters, servicing reservoirs, or changing components. Well, the hydraulic system's pieces and parts that need the most attention aren't components and filters. They're lines, B-nuts, O-rings, and seals. That means that 48 of every 100 hydraulic system problems are caused by a simple plumbing failure. However, these problems cause the greatest number of flight delays and cancellations. These simple plumbing problems can also be real hard to fix if you don't know the basic hydraulic plumbing rules. If you don't work carefully and follow these rules, your work may be the cause of the next hydraulic leak that delays or cancels a flight. Let's look at these basic hydraulic plumbing rules. Always work clean in cap-open lines. Contamination that gets into a system or collects on sealing surfaces can cause leaks, internal and external. Hydraulic fluid itself is a contaminant. It can eat paint and decals. When hydraulic fluid is allowed to penetrate a composite structure, it will attack the core material and reduce it to mush. Once a composite assembly has been attacked, its structural integrity will be lost. To avoid damage caused by twisting, tearing, and chipping, always lubricate O-ring packings, seals, backup rings, and fitting threads with hydraulic fluid before assembly. When assembling hydraulic system fittings, be sure that seals and backup rings are properly positioned before torquing the connection. When installing an elbow fitting into a component, be sure that all the threads are completely screwed into the boss. This is to make sure that the O-ring packing rides in the undercut and not on the threads. To prevent an elbow fitting from turning while its lock nut is being torqued, hold it with a second wrench. To make a stress-free installation, be sure that all elbow-to-pipe connections are correctly aligned before torquing the B-nuts. Do not use pointed, sharp-edged, or steel tools to remove or install O-ring packing, backup rings, and seals. Damage may occur. Never reinstall used O-ring packings or seals. Once they've been compressed, they will never regain their original shape again. It's okay to reinstall backup rings and washers again if you are sure that they have not been damaged. Remember this: if you have any doubt, always install new ones. Before torquing a B-nut, be sure that the tube fits squarely into the fitting. Never force or bend a tube to make it fit. Metal tubes don't stretch. If a piece seems shorter upon reinstallation or after a component change, something is wrong. Stop, think, and investigate the problem before you proceed. Make sure that tubes are not forced into clamps or line blocks. A stressed installation will lead to a cracked tube at the nearest fitting or B-nut, and you can bet it won't be long before it happens. If clamps or line blocks are removed so a tube or component can be replaced, be sure that they are reinstalled again. Tubes that are not properly supported will vibrate. Vibration is the greatest enemy of a hydraulic system. It causes tubes to crack and connections at fittings to loosen up and leak. When repairs are finished, always bleed the system and leak check your work. We, the mechanics, have control of torquing. The lack of proper torquing is the single greatest cause of leaks. Those calibrated elbows are not to look. We'll start with torquing. As we've said, When it comes to preventing hydraulic leaks, proper torquing is important. You simply can't get the correct torque without using a torque wrench. If, by chance, you get the correct torque without a torque wrench, you just got lucky, and luck has no part in our business. Every time you torque a B-nut, union, or fitting, the first thing you must ask yourself is, what kind of material is this tube made from, and what's its diameter? The material is usually steel or aluminum. When the material is steel, it will either be thin-walled stainless, it's called cress, or titanium. Aluminum is also called light alloy. With this information, the correct torque is at your fingertips. Look it up in the main